My friends call me Wild Rose. I was born and raised on a dairy farm on the west coast of Canada, on Vancouver Island. I grew up fixing things that broke, calming animals that were scared, and learning how life begins and how it ends. I know engines and soil, seasons and storms. I know which plants heal and which ones kill, and sometimes which ones do both. The forest has always made more sense to me than people. Trees breathe, they sleep at night. Birds wake them in the morning. I've known that long before science decided to catch up. That's probably why none of this feels impossible now. I always felt a little out of place on the farm while my parents tended crops and wrangled livestock. I wandered the forest at the edge of our land. Sunlight caught in my hair and my thoughts ran ahead of my feet. That's where I bloomed. That's how I earned my name. One crisp autumn morning, I found something that didn't belong among the pines and oaks. Half buried in moss and stone sat a silver craft, smooth as glass, faintly humming as if it were waiting. When I touched it, the metal felt alive. A seam appeared, a door slid open, pale blue light spilled out. I should have run. Instead, I stepped inside. The walls pulsed softly, a console lit up with symbols I didn't recognize, but somehow understood before I could change my mind. The craft lifted, vibrated, and tore free of the earth. When my vision cleared, I was in orbit around a vast alien space station, spiraled organic, like a living shell suspended in space. The beings who greeted me didn't speak with sound, they spoke with images. Feelings need. They were dying, a plague was consuming them, and even their medicine couldn't keep up their leader. Eloi, ancient and tired, showed me the truth of the craft I'd found. It was a temporal vessel. They needed a plant from Earth's deep past, a rare blue flower with silver veins, the only thing that could synthesize a cure. I didn't hesitate. If something needs doing, you do it. The jump was violent, light everywhere, pressure in my bones. When the craft settled, the air was warm and heavy. I stepped out into a prehistoric jungle. Towering ferns, insects the size of birds, distant roars that vibrated in my chest. The flower was there, just like the crystal showed me, glimmering blue, growing at the roots of an ancient tree. I knelt to examine it. That's when the ground trembled. Something large stirred behind the trees. I knew that sound not from experience, but from instinct, from every animal I'd ever watched decide whether to hunt or flee. A T-Rex burst into the clearing, hunting, focused, hungry. The saucer reacted before I did, lifting, humming, flashing light. It darted and pulsed, drawing the creature's attention away from me. The T-Rex roared, snapping at empty air, confused and furious. And the light changed. Suddenly, someone else was there. He appeared like the world itself had decided to stand up and speak. About 10 feet tall, radiant, gold-eyed, beautiful in a way that felt dangerous, haughty, amused, unmistakably certain of his own importance. Apollo. I recognized him instantly. You don't grow up reading myths and not know that presence. He looked surprised when I said his name. "How do you know who I am?" he asked. I told him the truth, that where I come from, stories remember gods long after they stop walking the world. That seemed to amuse him. He asked how I got there, why I was taking the flower. I told him about the aliens, the plague, the station. Before he could respond, the air fractured. Temporal enforcement units, police of time itself, arrived in a hard blue flash. They declared me in violation of causality and reached for me like I was stolen property. Apollo did not like that. He stepped between us, light flaring, voice calm, but final. He argued, distracted, delayed them just long enough. The saucer opened. I grabbed the flowering plant, roots, seeds, all of it, and ran. The craft sealed around me and tore backward through time, leaving gods and dinosaurs and angry temporal officers behind. I delivered the plant to the station. Elora wept images of relief and hope washing through me. Their scientists immediately began cultivation. The cure was possible, real. I should have felt finished. Instead, I felt invited. Now we're discussing my next journey, another time, another place, another impossible problem that needs solving. I'm still a farm girl. I still know how to fix broken things. It just turns out some of them are very, very old. Wild Rose.